Hey, 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 party people. It's Brandi and Cesley, and we're back with Blooming Through Faith, the podcast that helps you grow and bloom in your mindset, lifestyle, health, and wealth. We want you to know that you are capable, beautiful, and worthy.
So today we're going to talk about fighting distraction in your life. Y'all, one of the biggest killers of your big dreams is distraction. And there's a saying that I like to use all the time, and it's if the devil won't make you bad, he'll make you busy. And he'll get you to focus on all the things that don't matter so that you don't invest in what does matter. He tries to distract you from your core purpose and mission. Right now, social media, comparison, and just 24/7 access to news and the world is distracting a lot of people and causing them to be their worst, not their best.
Yeah, it's so good. God has given you giftings and purpose and will believe that you are so capable and beautiful and worthy of fulfilling and accomplishing anything. And distraction is such a small thing to wreck your big plans. Okay. And what you just said, Cecily, I heard on Ed Milet podcast. He's like, why are so many of you guys so invested in your sports teams? You say we won. No, we didn't win. They won. It is their life, right? Like politics right
Wish
now.
it was
Whoever, yeah, no, right? Politics, right? So many people are so invested in that and taking time away from their dreams and their goals and their family and their life because they're going down a rabbit hole of this. Who like rabbit hill? A rabbit hole. Hill hole.
They're going up the hill, down the hole. They're going everywhere.
But it's so good. It's so good. Stop being distracted by things that you cannot control. Work on your dreams, your purpose, your mission.
Yeah. And I'll tell you too, like I just got back from a week of kids church camp. And if there's anything that will humble you, it is a week of kids church camp. So this is like out in the country, y'all. I had Brandi knows I would try and message her and I'd be like, I have one bar of service. Nothing is happening. We are getting nothing done. I was away from my phone. There was no social media. And like I do a lot of my business on social media. So it can be a great tool. But y'all, you do not fool yourself into thinking like, oh, I do my business on my computer or my phone. I need to be on it. We don't use it for its main purpose. Like we get distracted. Even if you think about all the times that you pick up your phone to scroll for 2 to 3 minutes. I mean, that could be hours in your day. What could you do if you sat down for an hour to 2 hours? What could you literally get done? Like it's insane. Okay, so we're going to go through our top 5 tips to helping you not get distracted from your vision, your mission, your purpose, and your goals. So number 1 is don't fall for the side quests. You can tell that I was a nerd when I was a kid because I wrote this one, side quests, like in video games. Don't fall for the side quests. When you know your vision and your mission, don't get distracted by little side quests, side missions. So things that can really help with this are like to-do lists. All right. If you are someone whose mind gets distracted a lot, I have 27 to-do lists at any point in time. And I need them because I'll be in the middle of doing something really important for my business or for ministry or something. And then all of a sudden I'll think, oh my gosh, I wanted to make this thing for dinner. Let me just look up the recipe real quick. And I have to stop myself and go, wait a second. No, I'm just going to write it down. I'll put it on a to-do list. So if you're somebody that falls for the side quests, you get really distracted by other things, you need to start making a to-do list for yourself. Even if you get these ideas, write them down. Carry a journal with you. I have a tiny little like pocket journal. It's probably the size of my phone. It goes in my purse. It goes in my backpack. It goes in my car. It goes everywhere I go. And if I have a side thought that doesn't have to do with what I'm trying to do with my mission and my vision that day, I just write it down and it gets out of my mind.
That's so good. I'm a to-do list. Oh, I love me some to-do lists. Okay. I have 18 of them to-do lists. Okay. I can't live my life without a to-do list or a calendar. All right. No. Number 2, don't fall into the comparison trap. All right. You aren't meant to do everything well, and you don't have to try to do everything and be everything for everybody. Okay. And we talk about this a lot on social media. We're like, oh, so-and-so is an Amazon influencer. Maybe I should be too. So-and-so is taking their kid here. I need to do that too. No, you don't. Cesley and Brandi started a podcast. I want to. Like, if that's not on your heart, if that's not your mission, if that's not your purpose, stop. Like, do the things that set your soul on fire and make you happy, and do them well. You don't have to have your hand in every single pot if that's not your mission. Right,
Oh,
Cecily?
100%. And I think we've gotten really stuck on this because we live in a day and age where you can be anything and do anything. Like, that's beautiful. And I love that. I love that we have so much opportunity, especially as women. We weren't always offered that. But it can also cause us to think, well, this person's doing this. I have to do this too. I've had people come to me that are already a part of like 2 or 3 different companies and be like, I would like to join this company too. I'd like to join that too. As a trainer, I have so many people that come up to me and they're like, I want to be a trainer too. And I'm like, well, okay. If I'll be honest with you, I'll tell you if I think it's for you, or I'll tell you if maybe it just looks exciting. Like a lot of
Yeah.
times we look at other people and their lives look exciting and we're like, I want to do that. But do you really? Like, you
Mm,
probably don't. And we also, on the same kind of thought of comparison, we spend a lot of our times just comparing ourselves to other people, like our personal bodies,
mm,
and we start thinking that we need to do all the things that they do to look like them and act like them. And do you know how much time that wastes trying to be like somebody else? Like, you're just wasting time that God has put a different vision and a different mission on you. You have a different appointment on you than anyone else does. And so trying to be like someone, like if I was trying to be like Brandi, I'd be missing the appointment that's on my life. Like, God brought
mhm.
us together to do great things together. But if I'm just trying to be like her, I'm not playing my role in what he has for us.
And I can't be like Cecily because I don't have a perfect IQ. All right. But
Last
back
question.
on that body image, I also, like, we've said this before and we're going to say it again. Like, we are
Mm.
all built differently. Our genetics, our body frames,
Yeah,
our
dude.
life. So we should never, as a woman, and some of us have had numerous children. Some have never had children, right? We should never compare our body to somebody else's. And also the same thing is, oh, so-and-so just had a baby and they've lost X, Y, and Z. Like, why can't I? Again, you're built differently, babe. So do not look at somebody else and their journey and their story and compare it to you and yours and think that you're less than or need to be the same.
One more thing to say about that. You just said something that sparked something that I said to somebody today, actually. So, there is a young female leader in my church that I adore her, and she's a quiet leader. She probably is somebody who doesn't see herself as a leader. She's very quiet, she's very artsy. She's just such a beautiful young woman. She's going to college this next year, and I was talking to her and I told her that it means so much that she's a leader within our ministry because kids, especially young girls, they want to see themselves in other women. And so if we as adult women are constantly trying to be like other women, we're missing out on the opportunity to show young girls that they can be exactly as God made them. Like, they don't have to
Mm,
try to be like other women. Like, I was telling this one leader that I love that she is so quiet and so different, because there are these young girls that are really shy in these classes and they look up to her because she is a different type of person and they see themselves in her. And so think about that. The next time you start comparing yourself to someone else and wanting to change yourself, you're a role model for somebody that's just like you, but younger.
that's so good. That's so powerful.
Yeah. Oh, I'm next. Number 3 is don't forget your vision. Y'all, we talk about vision so often, but when it comes to distraction, this is such a huge one. Don't forget your vision. What is your vision, even just for your day? Like, do you wake up and say, okay, here's how I envision my day going? Or do you just kind of like roll with it? That sounds stressful, even just saying it. Like, I would never just get out of bed and be like, what are we going to do today? I don't know. You have to
That
have a
gives me
vision.
hives. Like, that literally gives me
I
hives.
like I don't like that. What are we going to do today? What's your vision for your week? What's your vision for your life? Put your vision somewhere where you can have eyes on it and see it constantly. Put your daily list somewhere, even like a to-do list, put it somewhere where you have eyes on it. Keep your vision in the very front of your focus. If you can see it all the time, your brain is going to continue to come back to it every time you get distracted.
That's so good. Because I have my vision board literally, I'm staring at it right now. It's right behind my computer. Yeah. Love that so much. And again, if you don't have your mission, if you don't have your vision, if you don't have your why, take some time to think about that. I think Cecily and I
Baby.
should do a workshop on that. At some
Yeah.
point in our lives, I think we're going to do that for you guys. All right. The next one is find a work zone space, okay? You need a place where your brain clicks into work mode, all right? Or creative mode, right? So for me, I have an office. Like I work from home. Cecily works from home. We have an office space. Like right now, my kiddos are inside. Like mine's in the garage. It kind of like worked out perfectly with this house. I was like, oh, this is cool because it was
It's
one of
cute.
the
You have a little nook.
yeah, like a little nook. It was one of the what is it? Like the show houses, right? So the office is in their garage. Anyway, this is my workspace. Like when I come out here, my to-do list is here. I'm setting an alarm. I'm working on this. I'm looking at my calendar, you know, and I'm taking the breaks like we've talked about before, right? Give yourself a little break, but you got to have a place where you can get work done and you can be efficient. Also, if you are doing projects or if you're a creative person, like so for me, my creative space is the beach. So if I'm journaling or if I'm dreaming or if I'm thinking about future and purposes and what we're going to do, like cause Cecily and I, guys, we got big dreams here. Y'all, we are just getting started. We are going to create workshops, right? We are going to get together in person. We got so many fun things planned for you. So in that kind of space, I want to be creative. I want to be able to just like let all of that flow. And that's the beach for me, right? So I take my journal and I just go ham and start dreaming and thinking of all of these things, right? So have a space where you can get work done, have a space where you can dream big and have creative thoughts and all that kind of fun stuff too. Is there anything you'd like to add there, Cecily?
No, I think that's great. I can't stress this enough to have a work zone space because my brain is I get distracted easily. This is an episode of my own heart. I'll waste a whole day on just things that like I kind of have to do or like the laundry or I have to have a separate space where I do everything. Even when I have like my quiet time, somebody was telling me like, "Oh, I just go into my like if you have a walk-in closet, they're like, I like to go in there because it's quiet. I like to go in my living room." I'm like, I can't pray in my living room. I can't journal in my living room. I can't like I'm distracted thinking about it. I have to go outside. I have to physically be outside of my home. And my husband has put together a really cute little patio with like plants and this cute little like patio set so that I can sit out there in the mornings and do my journaling. And my brain just feels differently. Like if you guys make a habit of this, your brain will automatically kind of go into that work mode or that creative mode if you make that your space where you do that. So it's
I
so
love
important.
that.
Yeah.
Tommy, I'm gonna
He's
have
so
Mitch make
good.
me one in the
When I
backyard.
came home from kids camp and he had put a new plant out there, it was a hibiscus.
Oh, I love
Well,
hibiscus.
hibiscus, is it a plant or a tree? I don't know. It's a bush right now. Maybe it's a tree. I don't. I'm
I
really bad.
actually
The
don't
one
know. I
this
already told you I don't do we have we literally have a garden for our daughter that we lost. It's Faith's garden. And what's so sweet is Troy will go up to the garden and talk to Faith. Like he thinks she's there. I know it's so precious. But I'm like, Mitch,
Oh,
we're gonna do this and this is wonderful, but like I really need you guys to
y'all
stay
need to
on
take care of it.
watering it. Like I can't take care of it. So him and Troy, that's
Yeah,
their little chore that they do
I
together. They
love
water
that.
Faith's
They
garden.
take care of his sister. They water the
Mhm.
garden for her. So my joke with Tommy is, and I will get to number 5, but my joke to Tommy is that he brings home all these plants and I don't know the watering schedule. Like I don't know when to water them. I'm also busy. And so I tell him if he doesn't water these plants, they will die. And sometimes he'll come home and one will be dead and he'll just secretly replace it. And he thinks I don't notice. Like he will replace a dying plant with the same exact one for me.
Oh my
He thinks I
god.
don't notice. I notice,
If
but I
that's not the
pretend
most
not to
precious
notice
thing
because it's very
ever.
sweet. He will just because he doesn't want me to feel bad that I kill plants, so he will just get me a new one. All right. Number 5, don't forget your worth. Man, getting distracted is something our brain does to not think about the big tasks in front of us, right? Like just let's just get down to the bare bones of what distraction is. Our brain leans towards distraction. It wants to do the easy tasks because having to think about the big things are hard, y'all. But
Mhm.
God has given you giftings. He has given you a purpose. And good stewardship of that, good care of that is fighting distraction the best you can. You have to push yourself. There are going to be times where it feels really sticky. I think that's my favorite word to use because I like visualize it. It gets sticky to think about the hard things. It gets sticky to think about your vision instead of thinking about like making a grocery list. right? Like that's easy. Or making your kids lunch, that seems simple. Like there's certain things that you'll just distract yourself with, doom scrolling on social media,
Mm,
watching too much TV. All that is easy. But actually having a vision and moving towards it is hard, you guys. Like, we want to acknowledge that for y'all. We know that it's hard and we know that you're working at it, but you have to push yourself. You may not be able to do what others can do, but God only holds you accountable for the measure of grace given to you. So He's given you a purpose. And the
mm,
grace that He gives you is for your purpose. So, like, if you see someone else out there, let's go with the Olympics. The Olympics are on right now. I could see an Olympic sprinter and be like, oh my gosh, she has trained her whole life. She runs so fast. I will never be like that. Well, God has given that person a very different amount of grace than He's given you. That person has a different platform, a different goal, a different vision than you do. Okay. So you have to just put your head down, fight distraction, and focus on yourself.
mm. So powerful.
Mm-hmm.
All right, grow girls. As we wrap up today's episode, I hope you feel empowered to tackle the distractions in your life with renewed focus and clarity. Remember, it's not about eliminating distractions entirely, but managing them in a way that they no longer control you.
Mm-hmm.
Take small steps daily to create a more mindful and intentional life. Okay. Whether it's setting boundaries with your time, creating a distraction free environment, or practicing mindful techniques, you have the tools to regain control and live a more fulfilling life. Keep in mind that progress is a journey, not a destination. Be
Mm-hmm.
patient with yourself and celebrate the small victories along the way. Stay focused, stay grounded, and keep shining bright.
And remember, you are worthy, you are capable, you are beautiful, and we can't wait to watch you grow, girl.